Hi, this is Joe's Corner 76 and Joe's Philosophy Corner 76. I'm going to be commenting on the human condition. In order to change it, we have to be involved. What Christmas doesn't mean to me. During this season especially, the first thing that it doesn't mean to me is mass consumerism. Buy. Because I often find that what happens is when you buy, you got debt. And quite often I've noticed that a lot of the things that you buy, people just discard later on. Have you ever gone through any of the thrift stores? You find a lot of the gifts that people bought are there. And when I think about Christmas, I also think about the forced jolliness for a few days and how miserable many of us are for the rest of the year. And it makes me often wonder, why just a few days? Why not the rest of the year? When I look at the alcohol consumption, and it's called good cheer, for many families this isn't good cheer. It's a time of tragedy, it's a time of sorrow, it's a time of loneliness, it's a time of family violence. It's not a time of togetherness. When I look at all the people that are lonely, it's one of the times of the year when suicide rates are high, when people feel they have to belong there, they have to have something. They're not taught to be content within themselves. And we know that mental illness is high during this period. Also, I look at all the gifts that are being promoted and saying, oh, it's only $100 here, it's only $149 there. And I think of all the parents who are struggling to put food on the table. And they're faced with their child's wants. The advertising says, you need this, you need that, you need this. We've come to the point where we've got to stop and say, enough. My kids are important, but they've got to learn the value of when you can't get it, it doesn't mean you're not going to be happy. It doesn't mean you're not going to be fulfilled. It means that you have to start and understand that mommy and daddy are doing the best they can. We also have to stop bringing up arguments at Christmas over a few drinks. What Uncle Harry said last year, what Aunt Mary did, how you feel about so-and-so. It's a kind of time where maybe if you can't say anything nice, just shut up. Because I find Christmas is such a harried, tense season that it makes me wonder, is this really the season of goodwill and good cheer? Or is it the season of mass consumption, harassment, drunkenness, forced gaiety? These aren't things that mean anything as to what Christmas is to me. Let me tell you what I think Christmas is. First and foremost is the message. Whether you're a Christian or you're not a Christian, the message of peace, love, and brotherhood is a universal theme. We seem to have replaced this with a jolly red green guy, whatever, called Santa Claus. And this was supposed to be the real meaning of Christmas. Peace, joy, and brotherhood. Along with that, it was also a time for family to get together, a time for family to visit each other, a time to reflect on those that aren't there, a time to talk about good times in the past, a time to remember the tough times that you got through, a time to know that you are blessed to live in a country like this, whether you have a lot or you have a little. Compared to the rest of the world, you are rich. It's a time to say, What kind of gifts are important? Is money important? Are mass packages important? Or are the love of your family, the joy of your children, the time you can spend together, the time you know that I've survived another year, particularly during COVID, a time to say to your children, let's not worry about gifts. Let's think about each other. Let's think about the joy we have in each other. Let's think about what the message of Christmas really is. Let's start and say to ourselves, why does this good feeling only have to last 2 or 3 days? Are we going to remember all of the lonely people? Are we going to reach out to someone and say, come on over, I know you're alone? Are we going to phone someone and say, hey, I can't be there, but I still miss you. I know, I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I'm thinking about you. Are we going to finally say, enough with the mass consumption, mass consumerism, forced debt, and are we going to say, I want Christmas to be about family, about friends, about good food, about enjoyment. I want to know that I'm going to have this feeling, and I'm going to try to have this feeling of a Merry Christmas, goodwill, peace on earth, for the rest of the year. Please don't just go ho, 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 love everybody for 3 days, and then go back after Boxing Day to your old self. You know, the world's in a tough enough place, and every little bit of good cheer, goodwill can change it. Don't ever think that you as a person can't change the world, because you can. You can change somebody's life even though you don't realize it, by smiling, by giving them a hand, by donating somewhere, by taking time to tell your spouse, I really appreciate you. I'm so glad to have you. Telling your children, I love you. I care about you. So what I'm saying is, let's let Christmas last all year, not just for a few days, because if we did, the world's going to be a better place. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.